My name is Mark. For 10 years, I thought I was the luckiest man on earth. My wife, Sarah, was the kind of woman people turned around to look at in a room. She was smart, a high-flying marketing executive, and she always made me feel like I was her anchor. We had the house, the golden retriever, the Saturday morning coffee routines. People used to tell us we were marriage goals. I believed them. I really did. But looking back now, the signs were there. I just chose to call them stress or being busy. I didn't know that while I was planning our 10th anniversary trip to Italy, Sarah was planning my replacement. This isn't just a story about a broken heart. It's a story about how I stayed silent, played the long game, and watched her world burn down by her own hand.
It started 6 months ago. Sarah suddenly had a lot of late-night strategy sessions. Now, I'm an architect. I know what long hours feel like. But Sarah started taking her phone into the shower. She changed her passcode, something we'd never done in a decade. One night, she came home at 11 p.m., smelling like expensive bourbon and a cologne I didn't recognize. It wasn't mine. I asked her about it, and she laughed it off, saying she was at a celebratory dinner for a client and sat next to a heavy sprayer. The worst part? My best friend, Jason, was always there to comfort me. Jason and I had been brothers since college. He was the one who told me, "Mark, you're being paranoid. She's a boss. She's killing it. Don't be that insecure guy." I felt like an idiot. I actually thanked him for keeping my head straight. Little did I know, Jason wasn't just my friend. He was the client Sarah was strategizing with.
The truth came out on a Tuesday. Sarah left her old iPad at home, and for some reason, the iMessage sync hadn't been turned off. I was sitting on the couch when a notification popped up. It was from Jason. It said, "I can't wait for Friday. Being with you in that hotel felt more like home than my actual house. Mark has no clue. He's so easy to play." My heart didn't just break, it stopped. I felt a coldness spread from my chest to my fingertips. I opened the thread. There were months of messages, photos, videos. They mocked me. They talked about how they'd use the money from our joint Italy fund to rent a private villa together later this year. They even joked about my stupid anniversary gift, a necklace I'd spent 3 months saving for. I sat in that dark living room for 4 hours. I didn't cry. The sadness was replaced by something else. A very quiet, very sharp clarity. I realized that if I confronted her now, she'd get half the house, half my savings, and probably alimony. I wasn't going to let that happen.
I didn't say a word. When Sarah came home that night, I kissed her forehead and asked how her day was. She lied to my face, and I smiled back. The next day, I hired a private investigator named Frank. I told him I wanted everything. GPS trackers on the car, high-res photos, financial records. For 30 days, I lived in a house with a stranger. I watched her text him while sitting across from me at dinner. I watched her blush at her screen while I was talking about our future. Frank delivered. He found out Jason was actually embezzling funds from his own firm to pay for their getaways, and Sarah was helping him clean the paper trail through her marketing agency. This wasn't just an affair anymore. It was corporate fraud. My lawyer, a shark named Miller, told me, "Mark, you can ruin her life legally, But if he want the house and the assets, we need her to sign a post-nuptial agreement under the guise of estate planning for our future kids. So I played the vulnerable husband. I told Sarah I wanted to make sure she was protected no matter what. I presented her with a document that basically said, in the event of proven infidelity, the offending party forfeits all rights to the marital home and all joint accounts. She was so arrogant, so sure I'd never find out, that she signed it without even showing it to a lawyer. She thought she was signing a safety net. She was signing her eviction notice.
Our 10th anniversary arrived. I organized a surprise party at a high-end restaurant. I invited everyone: her parents, my parents, our co-workers, and of course, Jason. Sarah was glowing. She thought this was the pinnacle of her perfect life. Jason was there, patting me on the back, telling me what a great guy I was. I stood up for the toast. The room went quiet. "Everyone," I said, holding a champagne flute. 10 years is a long time. You think you know a person. You think you know your best friend. I looked directly at Jason. His smile wavered just a fraction. I wanted to give Sarah a gift she'd never forget, something that reflects exactly who she is. I turned on the large projector screen behind me. Sarah thought it was a slideshow of our vacations. Instead, the first slide was the screenshot of the iMessage from the iPad. Mark has no clue. He's so easy to play. The second slide was a high-resolution photo of them kissing in the parking lot of a motel 3 days ago. The room went deathly silent. Sarah's face went from tan to ghostly white. Jason tried to stand up, but I held up my hand. "And for you, Jason," I continued, "I've already sent the file regarding the marketing consulting fees you've been paying Sarah to your board of directors. They're expecting you for a meeting at 8 a.m. tomorrow with the police."
The fallout was glorious. Because of the post-nuptial agreement she signed, she had 24 hours to vacate the house. Her parents were so disgusted they refused to let her stay with them. Jason was fired within the week and is currently facing a massive lawsuit for embezzlement. Sarah's agency dropped her the moment the consulting scandal went public. She tried to sue me for emotional distress, but my lawyer just laughed. I sold the house. I didn't want the memories. I took the money, all of it, and finally took that trip to Italy. But I went alone. Sometimes people ask me if I regret being so cruel. I just look at the photo I took of the Italy fund jar before I emptied it. It wasn't about being cruel. It was about balance. She took my trust, so I took her future. Now I wake up in a quiet apartment, drink my coffee, and I don't check my phone. Because for the first time in 10 years, I don't have to wonder who's on the other side of the screen. I'm finally free. What would you have done in my shoes? Would you have confronted her immediately, or would you have played the long game? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. Thanks for listening.